Alright, hello. Let me just make sure everything is going good, okay. Just checking the sound. But, so today is another day of game development. I'm very excited because drop chances are going to be added. And we're just going to kind of see what we can get cooking here. So, I guess I'll just start with when you beat an enemy. I want to avoid making a whole script for it. Yeah, I think it would just be better that we could basically kind of just spawn in a chest droppable, but just have like a chance for it. So then enemies will have drop chance. It shouldn't be too crazy. Sorry for the late start. Ran into a weird problem setting things up. Let me see. Wow, this is just terrible. So many ifs. Could be broken down so much. But yeah. There is just a bit I want to do today. Taking it in stride, you know. Not going crazy. Let me put this over here, by the way. Just because I have no extra monitors. And chat can be weird sometimes on my phone. There we go. At least cut up some of this. But what we want to do is weapon and collision enter, is what we're going to mainly be focused on. So I'm just going to make a spawn drop. And then I just want to make a private game object of loot drops. And we can basically do a randomizer. And then we can have a random integer. Basically, this is just going to like help us randomize. Random is equals to 0. That should be good. Randomize loot. And so yeah, it'll randomize, and on successful randomization, all we're just going to do is randomize the loot drop at the for transformed opposition and rotation. And that's like all we're going to do. Because it's just going to run through this if it randomizes properly, you know. And we could probably have like a rate of randomization. So we can have a max, and we can just add up, kind of see from there. And so yeah, it'll basically re-randomize every time, and then it'll potentially spawn that many items. Now all the items will be like in the same space, which may screw it up. I could do a chain of new vector. Take the positions X, Y, Z, and then add like by a small amount to it. Position.y, transform.position, position.c, and we can then add a random range of like 0 to 8. Wait, this is y? Yeah, we don't want it to be y. Zero to 5 is probably going to be better. Yes, technically, like an item drop could spawn out of like the game, but then we can consider it part of the randomization at that point. And then we just want to go to where we're taking damage. Oh. Hey, thank you for the follow. Brunch too, thank you so much. It's really appreciated. I hope you're doing well. I'm just gonna quick go over here. Spawn drop, that's the name. Spawn drop. Oh, what is going on with the spacing here is kind of off. There we go. Randomize loot. Come on. There it is. And then we probably should have another one. Yeah, no, it'll be better to focus what's going on, but it looks cool. Basically, I'm just by the way, hello, how you doing? But I'm basically just setting some core aspects of the game so that it'll like loop through and be like, oh, there's a chance in like 1 in 10 for an item to drop, and that's basically what I'm doing. Max loot value. But yeah, and I can just put the max loot value here. And so yeah, I'll just quick break it down, what this spawn drop is. Because I know it just looks nuts. But it's this function here. Shoot, make an item, that's 1 in a million. You know, it's actually, it is pretty randomized right now. So the way I've set the program up is that like not only is there a chance for loot drops, but there's or there's going to be in a second, but there's as well going to be like, or there's as well like, oh, the item itself randomizes. I have literal like weapon generators, and so like some swords will have bigger blades, some will have bigger hilts. It's basically a big experiment. I mean, there's not I'm not too keen on it, but it's coming. Oh, and the world is generating too. So I'll show you some gameplay in a second when I set everything up. Comically large dagger. You're gonna laugh. Some of these. So I'm not a designer by any means, so don't expect things to look really pretty. I'm just a programmer. But like some of them are pretty comically funny. It's like some of them is like a really big blade, but like very short. So it's like a weird cleaver. Let me just quick make sure that the enemies are getting what they need to drop the items. And then, yeah, I'll show you. So, this is the slime enemy. And I just want to give them a 1 in 10 chance. Or, sorry, this is 1 in 10. And then I just gotta take a weapon generator and put it there. And then I just have to do that for the other enemies. But yeah, nothing too crazy. 10. But there is some funny stuff. So let me quick pull out. I'll actually put it in. It's going to take a second to load. But I'll put it after it loads in main view so you can see like what it looks like with the actual stuff. Give me 1 second. I just reloading something. But yeah, I'll quick pull it into the main scene because it actually the lighting does get a bit better. Oh. There it goes. So yeah, wow. It's loading. There we go. So right now, this is the sword that generated, and I've kind of made it a movement-based game. So you can see it's, like I said, not exactly the prettiest, but it's something. And those are wisps. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But we can see if enemies will drop any loot. So far I haven't, and I put it to a kind of a high chance. Get down here. Wisps are the most annoying because wisps will run away from you but shoot at you. Making that AI was kind of funny. There we go, I got some shield back. Alright, got the wisp. At least it works. It's just kind of nuts. Oh, there's another sword. So this is my second sword now. So yeah, it all just randomized as it is, and the world is all randomized too. So like all these levels and things. Oh, he dropped loot. He dropped a bow. Okay. I don't know if it's exactly framey per se. I run decently well on this. But I actually just recently got the inventory system working from last stream, so that's the good part, is the inventory works, but everything's collidable. You can like, you can play around with the environment. I figured it would be fun that way. You could just destroy stuff. Chests will spawn. Some of them will be broken, some of them won't. And that's just kind of part of the randomization. Like a Roblox game, but I assume it will get better in time. Yeah, well, like I said, it's not very pretty. it's very just blocky right now, and I do want to have like good designs in. Like you'll see when I go back into the world generator, like I have a decent sword asset, but I just don't want to take it from people because even if this is free, this sword asset, it's not exactly like my work, and so I'm just gonna get everything functional first, and then I'm gonna make it look pretty after. Because, like I said, it is just a big experiment as well. But the only thing you'd be missing out otherwise is that it would be way brighter and the lighting wouldn't be as pretty when you run it in this view. But for the most part, it's completely functional, surprisingly. Um, Let me quick. So I got that done. Could probably do that. Issue is, so I'm still kind of cooking on what to put next. I could put in some better assets. What I'm scared of is like the particles, but because I want to have this a fire come off the torches and it look nice, but it will be kind of iffy. So let me see if I can bring it in. All this is right here is just stuff like I've had in other projects that I've made, that I've gotten off of like the asset store. So these are like other people's designs, but they're free to use. So let's just see here. Do I have anything that will make a fire look nice? This actually may work, the LED lighting, just because they have nice looking torches in their scene. So I just want to import it, and this will take a minute. As it does. It's funny, Unity, this editor that I'm using to make these games, I feel like is the only reason why I'm having, or why my has dependencies. Skip, I guess. I don't think I should care too much about that. Just saying that some things may be like specific to newer versions of Unity because I use old ones. But what I was going to say is Unity is like part of the reason why my laptop feels so slow though sometimes. It's because it takes a lot of stuff. Why? Just please stop opening scripts. Man, anytime. Definitely ain't an Unreal project, for sure. Put Watch me put into Unreal Engine 5 and then make it like really nice looking afterwards. I want it to look a lot like. Let me pull up a good thing of it, like and darker. If you've ever seen this game, this game was made in Unreal, and it looks so pretty. Like some of these shots, at least for like a dungeon crawling style of game, and I would love to get it to that point. They got all their stuff off of Unreal, but I don't know Unreal's setup because they may use some weird stuff. Let's see. Is this it? Yep, it is. So we're gonna go to the example scene, and this is just the scene that the designer made. But what I want is I want these torches. They have a light, and then they have the fire mobile. So yeah, I'm just gonna like make a prefab for these torches. So wherever I'm keeping torch, I just want to do that. All it is it's just going to save it so I can use it anywhere I want. And then we can go to the actual torch that I'm using. Bring this in. Of course, it's going to glitch out if I do it that way. Bring it in. And then will it allow me to zero out? Nice. We can make this invisible. Yes. Okay, awesome. Then we just go to the player. We go to our torch. And so, like, right in this bottom scene right here, you'll see that, like, the torch is at a weird angle. That's just because over right here, it's like that. And we can affect it here. Maybe push this up a bit. We're going to rotate it around, too. Just because I realized that it is meant for walls. Angle it a bit more like this. And then maybe bring it slightly closer. It's weird because it feels like it should be bigger, and I know it's based on perspective, but yeah. Oh, and I'm going to remove that from there just because I don't want the torch colliding with anything. But that will look nice. That's the, like, this is the particle effect, and it's just gonna, like, make fire, basically. Then all I want to do is I want to go to the, where I'm spawning everything in. So this is every room, like every room that you saw me going through except for the starting area that like had bricks and stuff. This is literally every room. It just is random every time. And yeah, I'm just going to make sure that these are the right tilt, and that's all. We can just set to 0. There we go. It is kind of stretched, but I think it definitely could be wider. That is a very thin torch. Wow. I will make them a bit wider too. That's much better. And still round, yes. We just want to take this and we want to impart it on that. If it will allow me. There we go. And then all we do is grab it and bring it back just a bit. I just want to make sure that this part right here is, yeah, bleeding into the wall. Just because then it won't show any seams or anything when you're looking at it in editor, or in game, I mean. And we're going to rotate this, like basically full 360. What about, nope, wrong one. There we go. This is going to have to be 180 at 0 as well. And the height is a bit different. I don't know why that is. Actually, take this height. What? Oh, wrong one. There we go. Let me see. Are these all the same height? Now they are. And then I just want to take that scale, impart it there. Nice, pretty. And then these should be like, oh, they are off just a bit. Whoa, why is this like rotated weird? What? Oh, 190. That would be why. It's like the hardest thing to get down in Unity, which is just rotating things. Because they have like a special system for doing it that you would wish is regular, but it's not. Okay. Now we should have nice looking torches with like flames coming out of them. Oh, look at that. Even though it's the particles trying to keep up with it, it still like leaves a smoke trail and stuff. It is weirdly scaled. What is that? I'm just going to remove these mesh renders quick. And as well from like the main thing. I think what was happening was like the torch was still kind of spawning in. Oh yeah, box collider. Oh yeah, they should keep it though. These torches should keep it. Because it's just gonna turn off these torches so that we're not lagging a bunch. But this one, I just want to remove that too, just in case. That should be good now though. Should not be weird. Nice. Room spawned. And it's like making the fire. It did flatten out because of the way the, what's it called? Like when rooms generate, because they're always random, it'll as well change the, hit detection. It's prop. Oh, all that has to happen here. Sorry, there was just an error that came up and I was just like, what is going on? We check. But yeah, the reason why the torches squeeze is just because, like, the room is being squeezed, basically, when it randomizes. But I can have an inhibitor, so it doesn't do that. And that's nice. Because then we don't have to worry about any of the weird stuff with torches. I just want to see it in main lighting next. Because then we can kind of see the particle effects at display. Oh, that's definitely nice. Even if it doesn't trail as good. And then I just want to look at the performance right now. Believe it or not, on my computer, 100 is good. Remember, I am on a laptop, so... Oh, that wisp survived. Oh yeah, but you can see one of the random sword generations that I've got right now. It does look much better, having like the little fire and stuff. Whoa, this is a trap. A trap that spawned. I feel like lessening the lighting just a bit on the torches. It is kind of bright. Definitely no Warframe movement yet. But we're getting somewhere. I would love to have a good movement system like that. Especially in this kind of game that's going to be more of like a movement shooter kind of game. That would be kind of dope. Get the slime. And then there's a boss. I'm destroying the boss with this greatsword that spawned. Thank you, although I'm getting destroyed now. Okay. I'm sorry. No? Alright. There's another boss? Oh no. There's another boss. Ooh, oh, okay. I'm going to quickly lower the lighting of all torches just a bit. It is kind of bright. And then I think we're going to be doing fairly nice. Give me 2.4 intensity there. Oh my gosh, still that bright. Give me 2. Let's see. It is still pretty bright. Almost comically bright. I want it to be like dark to where torches feel almost required. We'll put down the intensity too. It is a weird shade, but that's just because like base lighting in the scene. Alright, I know what the problem is. It is not with the intensity then. This can be back to 3 and 3, but we've got to put the amount of light that we're casting out down. The particle effect itself is quite bright. It's so funny when it gets stretched out. And then I just want to see, yeah, game object, but a script. Okay. You know what? Because I realize now that it's not handling it. And this script is just to like make it so things will disappear when we don't see them. So it can help with performance. I'm just going to make another statement. I guess box collider? No. Name. Like basically the issue with this logic is that we're trying to figure out what makes it a torch specifically, because there's other objects that are props like the tables and chairs and stuff. I guess if other game object get child is 1. So if there is a child of 1, and basically this core torch right now is referred to as a parent, what I highlighted in blue here, and then these are just its children. And so when I ask for children 1, I mean torch 17 here, because this is considered 0 in the code. But yeah, this is just going to be like if other is torch, then it will just set it to inactive or active depending on the scenario. Sorry, game object does set active. So I believe this is true for this one. And then we go down to the other prop section and we do this. And then we ask if there is a mesh renderer here. Now this code is terrible. It could be refined and look way prettier, but we're just testing things out still. Gonna be for a long time. I feel like this game is a solo dev job. It is just me. So let's see. Torches should now be handled naturally. Oh, we got like a katana for this sword generation. Look at that. That's funny. Whoa. Getting some major lag though. What is going on? It could be that something weird happened with generation. Let's see. Is that consistent? Kind of is. Setting active, setting inactive may be a lot here. What I can do otherwise is I could take basically make the dot get component, make it so it doesn't render at the very least, instead of setting it inactive. Oops. And that may save performance. We want to get child. How about 0, and we'll do it for 1, 2. And we may be able to set this stuff inactive. Or, yeah, game object, there we go. Because it's really just kind of, it can be kind of a guessing game on whether or not it's going to help us. Get child, set active. Well, this would be a problem as well. Actually, I do want to test this out. So, I was accidentally setting them all active when I would leave. Let's just see if I can, if it will properly set inactive and it won't cause us grief. Because what's basically making us lag is the particles. Like those flames that you see, that is the problem that we're dealing with. Okay. What is giving this transform out of bounds? Game object. How about that? It reading out those errors will be causing us some pain. Okay. Transform child, still handling it. I have an idea. So what we can do is get child 1. We can say get child count is equals to 1. Method group. Like that. Okay. It is deprecated. Alright, what about count? Child count, there it is. Cannot be used like a method. That's just because of that. There we go. So this is just saying if the maximum amount of children that any object has is within the right standing. There we go. That should suffice. Because then it'll skip over. Like, what's causing these errors is that there's like tables, chairs, and those tables and chairs are like basically reading it wrong, where they're just like, we don't have any children. Wow. Oh my gosh, that frame rate is crazy. Huh. Well, then I can say, I'm hoping that it's the errors that's causing it to get. We can go back to the bread and butter of that, and then maybe it'll want to work this way. Like, basically, I'm having to break it down a bunch. There is a lot of pickup I've got to get at it. Come on. Ooh, transform. It's still doing it. Huh. It still sees a problem. Yeah, then I guess this may not work the way I would like it. That just means we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. And then we just want this to be false. Not every time you can just make it inactive. What I was trying to do was I was trying to make it so, like, torches won't be there technically. Like, if I could grab this scene for a second, let me get rid of that. So if you look at this, setting it inactive would just make it go like that. Just absolutely disappears. You can't see it anymore. Getting rid of any of the rendering and stuff will make things much better. It definitely keeps better frames. Although I guess, do I even... I have an idea. It's basically, I'm thinking that I can fix the issue if I change the name of the object and ask for specifically torch number 17, or if I grab the name of the object. And I just want to make sure that yes. So this is kind of like the last stand, basically. It should solve any of the errors. It should help with performance. And all that I'm doing is I'm fixing the issue with, like, the way that we are seeing things. Spark mesh render. That's fine, because we're not utilizing that. But all of these, all the torches should have torch 17. Torch 17. And we're accessing it that way, because these are considered props. Okay. I guess we let it go and see if we're going to run an error. We probably will. Coding is never that simple sometimes. Really. Out of bounds. Alright, maybe it's giving child count, like, as in 0 is 1 to it. Sometimes I guess that can be. Kind of weird why it would be like that, but although it's running much better, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I guess the next thing that I will do is I will probably basically take the torch 17 and I might as well just give it a collision like that. And then call it a prop, and then we don't need to specifically call these props. So this should be much better. Yes, yes, yes. And then all we want to do is we want to take it and then say if the name of the game object that we're grabbing is this, then it will do that. Actually, wait a minute. Get child 0 and child 1. We want to get rid of this, and then we want to copy this. Nice. Okay. That is indentation. Okay. So this is the more refined one. it'll be forced to base it off of collisions, but it should fare much better. If it still doesn't work, it's just because I don't have a rigid body on these, and all that does is it gives it like physics. So everything like in a game that's like falling down or whatever, like your player has like some kind of physics to it, and that's just what the rigid body is doing. Okay. And it works. That is awesome. Oh, nice. I'm so happy we don't have to use a rigid body. It takes so much performance just to run it. But torches are looking much better. And that's kind of the good part. I do want to get rid of the, or like I do want to make enemies look better and stuff. That will as well come with time. But yeah, I think what I next will be doing probably is making just more weapon variety. You know, maybe make like a crossbow or something, but crossbows like shoot different kinds of arrows or something. Have more melee weapons. I definitely got to tweak the melee system a bit more, but it is better than some games I've played already, functionally anyways, when it comes to melee. Because some games do not have a good first-person melee. Whoa. That's kind of what I'm happy about with it. I gotta tweak the boss. Let me make it so the boss can drop items, and will drop a confirmed item. I just have to affect their script now. We're gonna want the spawn drop here. And then we can just put it right there. We're gonna need a loot drop. This is so we can put in loot drop. What did we have up here with the enemy? Yeah. And then I'm just gonna call this like the boss loot. Okay. So the boss is just gonna drop some items. Max loot value, we will give it like 5. And it'll be a 1 in 5 for bosses to drop loot. And then it'll just be weapon generator. So now, when you... Wait a minute, I'm not calling the function. It always eludes me. Okay. Should be right here. Spawns loot. Gives the player XP. We drop this in. We grab this, spawn drop. Yes. We want that, and then we want that. Max loot value. And that should be good. Let me just make sure I'm putting it in right. Random max, okay. Now, bosses drop items. I was just like, wait a minute. I don't think I called the function. But yeah, bows are randomized. Oh, this is terrible generation. Bows are randomized, swords are randomized. Anything that you can pick up, which we only right now have bows and swords, but making randomizers for them where like their pieces are different was a whole experiment in itself. You can watch an earlier stream on that. It was kind of nuts setting that up because I did not think it would work. Speaking of which, that enemy dropped some loot. Let's just do some shots, just because the blue wisps are always annoying, so I do not want to deal with them. Speaking of, wow. There we go, got him. Woo. Ouch. Alright. Ow, really? I as well want to make the animations better, but I'm still having trouble researching procedural animations. If I'll quick show a showcase of procedural animations if you don't know what they are after I lose, because I'm definitely going to lose. There's a bow. Although this bow is like really short, so that sucks. And I'm gone. But what I'd like to have in game is a procedural animation, which you'll find them in some of the newer games that you'll see. We'll have to pull up YouTube. Okay, thanks. We'll have to pull up YouTube for it probably to see a good video. Visual animation. And then, yeah, like I just want a quick show. We don't need the video, but yeah, this is like procedural animation where it looks very realistic and like things can naturally climb over stuff. It looks really cool, right? It's all done by code. And I've got to learn how it's done, but if I can get it down to a science and everything, I think that this would be really nice to have in the game, especially since I am, like I said, not a designer of any format, not an animator. So having something like that, it's weird, kind of like in a complex style. I think this person's using like Unreal or something. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, get like if I could just get animations like that to work, yeah, where it's like very, very fluid, realistic, I would be able to set it up so that like I could have more complex enemies. Like I want to have a skeleton with a bow and like skeleton with sword, zombie with like flailing arms you could cut off and stuff, but it's just it's definitely going to take a bit of time to get that up and running. And to know what I'm doing. I had set up an animation testing scene, and the best I had gotten to was like building basically a tail that was gonna be like procedurally animated, but I learned quickly that this structure would have like a billion bones basically. Like there would be like a small bone there, a bone there, so it can like act like joints and stuff, and like each of these could then move around on its own and all that. And I was just like, this is like nuts, just to make it like flow properly. Like So I'm still in the early stages of understanding that. So if you're wondering why like the attack animations are very very one and focused, it's just because of that. Um, and let me show you quick, because just cluing into the stream, like weapons when they generate, so you kind of get an understanding. I'm gonna fall into one because, yeah. But this is like the weapons. So swords can be shorter. Yeah, like that one's shorter. They could be longer, like that one. They can be thinner. They can be wider. And the same with bows. Although bows are like a bit weirder. But if you're wondering. Um, Anywho, that's ours. This weapon generator is the one that gives us our weapon. So, what I'm going to have to do probably is I'm going to want to make another weapon. And I'm thinking of a club, some kind of like mace. We can get like a good idea. Or like Morningstar, yeah, like, or Morningstar body, anyways. Kind of like the African war clubs, if you've seen them. I don't know. Weapon. There we go. Yeah, like this. Although this is terrible shot. But I'm thinking of something like this. It will still be like a block, like Roblox, probably, for now. Or a sphere. It'll probably be a sphere, actually. But I'll change it up and then have it so like the sphere can be like a bit bigger and stuff, or like just bigger in general, and it will work for that structure will work for like maces as well and stuff. Like the blocks for what you're seeing are easily going to be able to be filled in by like real designs. Um, and that's kind of the objective is getting those these blocks set up so that when I do inevitably design it or get some designs for it, they will scale naturally and won't look weird. So let's see. I gotta make a schematic for it though, just like I did the bow. We're gonna have to go into Pro Builder and take that off for now. So let's make a new shape. This is just because what I made was a bow. Arc, yeah, we don't want exactly that. We want a, oh, come on. Give me the plus sign. There we go. We want a cylinder because we'll build the handle first. Yeah, no. I just want to make sure that this is scaled up to the player, though. Can I zero? For a handle, how is this looking? So let's say I put it into the like sword slot. Come on, refresh. There we go. Get rid of that. Oh, that is going into the ground. Um, That's actually not bad. I know that it's very thin, but I think that can work. So we're just going to build, and then I want to make a sphere, not that big. What's the size comparison? Build. Okay. Oh, did it build right? I don't know. I think it did. Yeah, no, it did. Okay. So this is what it would look like, basically. Let me just, like, zero it out, and then let me zero this. And we can grab the perspective of things. Why this doesn't seem centered is beyond me. That looks much better. And then we just want to put it there. Okay. And then let me see. Nice. For the sword schematic, I have to go into the weapon generator script for that. When am I setting things as weapon? So that's not a weapon? Very good. So yeah, this is basically what we're going to use. It spawns them in separately. Yeah, because it grabs the mesh. There's a way of saving the mesh. Let me first throw this into the schematics folder so it saves, and then let me quick look it up again, how to save a mesh from a Pro Builder. How to save mesh from Pro Builder. Yeah, I'm afraid because this sphere is very round. Like, every time it makes it more round, basically more round, it sounds terrible. But the more spherical it is, the more resource it basically will take. So I'm unsure on how it is. If Unity bugs out right now, I may have to close it out, and that would suck. Maybe even spawning it in won't be a lot. I may have to make a more, I guess, less spherical sphere. Or bring in one from Unity itself. Because I think Pro Builder is going to screw me over on this one. Objects. Oh. Come on. I don't know. Does Unity want to work? Let me open up Unity Hub in the background. I don't think this is going to want to work. Where's the game? There it is. Already open. Yeah. It shouldn't be taking 2 minutes to make a prefab. Will I have to open up Task Manager? Yeah. Yeah, probably. Let's see. Unity Editor is taking up everything, so let's just end. Alright, thank you. And then we can open it up. Let me close that one out. This may take just a small second to open it up. But in the meantime, we can add the stuff for the mace, which is perfect. So we will have to make a focused number. 0, or actually, no, like this, and current random number, else if current random number is equals to 1, otherwise we can do it like that. And then this is 0 to 2, technically, so 0, 1, 2. Okay. While this still struggles to load, working on the weapon generator probably caused it. There it goes. Unity. Okay. Yeah, it even got rid of the the Pro Builder. That's all right. Honestly, we probably don't even need to do Pro Builder for this. I would rather use Unity's basic stuff because it's at that point Pro Builder is just being a lag engine, even if it is pretty. Just check out the size again. That's generally good for a handle. It could be kind of like that. And then we can just add in a regular sphere. The only time Pro Builder is good is when you're trying to build those complex shapes, like an arc for like the bow and stuff. But I figured it would want to be nice this time. It decided not. It's weird because it looks so off here, but I think it's perspective. Like, what happens if I drag out this? See, it kind of looks good from there. Yeah, I think this is just weirdly perspective. Okay. So, I guess because it's gonna be like kind of strange putting this in, the only issue is weapon generator takes a mesh. Hmm. Although I think I can just put in these meshes with these scales. So, yeah, cylinder mesh. Alright, let me open up the weapon generator. Let me grab this. Let me grab the cylinder mesh. We have to specify. Wow, there is a lot. Oh, cylinder. And then sphere. There we go. I don't have any good metal materials, so we're just gonna kind of have to work with what we got right now. So for now, this will be wooden, but it's all right. So we want to make it like this, a handle, because I want to make it like how I'm making the sword. Um, this will be a handle. We'll take the bow materials just because it's gonna look better that way. And then the handle will be a cylinder, which actually we already are bringing in, so we can get rid of that. Very nice. And then with handle, we want to add the pickup script. Just so you can pick them up, we want to do this. Handle. And then this will be the head of the mace. The only difference with the meshes now is that this will be 3, sphere for 3. Whoa, thank you, Unity. Alright. Oh, okay. Thank you. Sphere for 3. I guess that's fine. I just need to know this axis is made for resizing. So let's take a look at these sizes right now. Just to paint a pretty picture, we can rotate this so that it's in line. We could probably base it off of this. So for the handle, the sizes will be like this. Ooh, I did not mean to do that. Like that. Let me close that. So those are the handle sizes, and then we just want these sphere sizes, but we don't want them disturbed at all. Sorry, something just came up on my phone, so I was wondering what was going on. Let me see. So yeah, this is the head and everything. Then I just need to see rotate. What was rotate for? 90 degrees. Oh, that must have been just for like bow stuff probably or something. I don't know. Now for the sword, destroy. Yeah, we're gonna want to do that. So basically what this code here does is it just freezes the object in place. The only reason we're doing that when this spawns, because it'll be suspended in air, so it'll be kind of weird. But the only reason I'm doing that now is because I don't want to handle too much physics just yet until I know that this is like a proper science basically, because it kind of just works, and that does suck somewhat. And handle. And I will get to this in a moment, but I just want to figure out. Transform, not position. It'll spawn in weird for now. And I'm just going to cross this out and then set it to 2 as well. This is just so every time a weapon spawns, it's going to be a mace for now. I don't really don't really want to deal with the other stuff. Our Morningstar. Change all this to handle. And then we just go to the resizing of objects. So I want to grab this. Oh yeah, because there's each an individual thing. We'll close that out, close this out for now. And we're going to call this head. So let me just see the stuff. What you're seeing me do right now, this like weird function, the randomize object, is what makes it so like swords are bigger and stuff, or like can be. I'm gonna say at maximum 0.5 and at smallest 0.1. It'll just be a no. It would be like that. Give me like 0.20. This is maximum. So you can have like a somewhat large handle if it lands on that. Is this all just the same number? Wow, okay. Well, that makes life a bit easier. You can just copy all that. So now when handles spawn, or when spheres spawn, that will be covered. And then we want to make one for handle. So the handle specifications are different, which makes me sad. So it's like that. Give 0.2, give like 6. It's like that. We gotta be real careful with this one because it's so small. I guess because it's so small, we can only really go to this number. What? And it was like that. Or I meant like that. I'm willing to let it go that big. But the reason why I'm so touchy with the small stuff is because one increment is the whole X of this cylinder. So like just a small bit. Yeah, 0.2 versus 0.1 can really affect it. So I'm trying to be touchy with that. And then is this the same number? Alright, sweet. So we can just copy this over. Alright, and now, without further ado, let's see how these spawn in. Now this isn't gonna work. Our current weapon generator. But it's not gonna work because I haven't set it up to work. Like when we get to the point where you grab it and it will fit in your hands, that's when it's gonna be the annoying calculations. Because like I was able to make it more scalable, making weapons. Like the whole randomized object right here is very scalable, comparably to the pickup script, which is horrendous. It is just like, oh, in this instance, place this object here, place this object here. And I don't know if it'll fit within the sword frames. Although that is looking not too shabby for a first-time generation, even if it's kind of weird. It will be squeezed a bit, but there you go. There's your randomized mace. Even if it's going to look weird for now. Because remember, these aren't the finalized designs and stuff. So what you're seeing is just like a regular spawn. The numbers are close, so it's not so surprising that we're getting very similar ones. Oh, but there you go. There's like a big like ball and then a relatively smaller handle. So you can kind of get that idea there. And then we get into the annoying part. Well, first, let me make sure that when the mace spawns in, it takes on the characteristics we want. Handle, this is it. Pickup script. Attack script. Nice. Very nice. So yeah. I'm wondering if I could just say or this dot name is equals to handle for this. I'm basically trying to fit it in where the sword stuff is. Because hilt is the sword, basically. I don't know. Let's see how this pops out. go. That's not too off, actually. This I'm going to give a bigger range, though. But this isn't too off, and did it fill the animation? It filled that with that. Yeah, it filled the animation. Although I'm getting an out of bounds for this. But that's because this isn't of this, so or this dot name is equals to handle. Let me quick see if sword is called anywhere else. Okay. Now that I've done that, we should as well be able to now attack with our mace. It sometimes can just be that easy. Okay, maybe not. Input. No, it's not handle. We're not looking for handle. We're looking for that. There you go. And now it will. And now it will. Sorry, I totally forgot that we're not accessing the core parent object for melee weapons. Okay, and now it just... There you go. Even though it looks really weird, it works. That minimum size, though, we're going to change. Because it doesn't sit right with me. What is it like to pick this one up? So yeah, this handle size, that scale, minimum 0.35. And we can just head on over into the weapon generator. Go to this. This is going to be handle randomizer, by the way. Forgot to name that. But it's the Y. Yeah. Although that's large. Like, that would be quite large for the handle. Yeah. But the cool thing is the weapon should already deal damage. And that's kind of the good part about it. Is the handle... Did it get it? 0.25? Did I save the script? I know I randomized it. That's a 2 instead of that. But it wouldn't have fit anyways. I mean, there's like one thing I can do. And it's move it closer. I just don't want you seeing like the bottom of it. Well, I as well... I could technically put on like a small... I forget what they're called. But like at the end of it. And then give it a definition. Like a small ball basically at the bottom of it every time. Thank you, Lenovo. All that would have to happen is I would have to do this. This would be a weapon. Meshes 3. This is the ball of the weapon. But no. How about we set it there? Issues that will spawn it with the script. No, I'll go back to the original idea. The original idea was that I would just move it like slightly more into place than just this. So if this aim is hilt, it'll do this, but otherwise it'll just do it like that, where we just say 1, or no, honestly we could just say like 0.8, and that's the wrong one to say it to, 0.8. And then I think maces will come into frame better doing it this way. I think that would fundamentally make it look nice. Give me 2. What do we feel about 2? We shouldn't even be able to see it anymore. Unless... Oh, because it's being set to the hands position right after. Although, wait a minute. Even though this is like a very short one. So yeah, you should be able to deal damage to enemies. Nice. And we're dealing damage to enemies. Even though it's so close range, because this did not spawn with a good, what's it called? I'm being torn up. So there's your mace, I guess, or your Morningstar. I keep calling the wrong one. I keep swapping them. That I guess it technically works, even if it's still kind of weird. When the main designs get in, it will look much nicer. It's funny. It is what is referred to as a blockhead, I guess, still. The only other thing is we have to make it an inventory item. And that'll be like the last thing I'll do for today, is setting this for it as an inventory item. So, or my hands, no. The name is Bo. So this is storing the inventory icons. This should be items though. Yeah. I think that's the only thing I copied over. But yeah, this is the icons that come up when you open up the inventory. So you see, I'll just be basically doing a copy of this, and then this will be like M for Morningstar. And we'll give it the color of green when in hands. So when we're holding this, it'll be a green color. When we're holding the mace, the icon will be green. But when it is in your inventory, it will be a purple color. Okay, or it doesn't have a purple. They probably have like violet or something. Or not, just give me gray. Thank you. Okay. Oh, and this has to be capitalized. That should be it, though. Yeah. H, or the name is M. It's funny because the inventory is scalable in a sense where you want, or where you have to do some stuff, but I think that should be it. Alright. Without further ado, let's see how this comes out. It's green. You can drop it. All I need to know is if it's in the scene or not. Where did it drop? Yeah, it dropped in the ground. That's alright. And it has pickup script again? Okay. Bounds of the array. This was just me using mouse wheel. Yep. So that's A-okay. I go to the weapon generator, and finally we can get rid of this, and I think maces should just be in. I'm glad that melee weapons configure nicely with the scalability, because otherwise this would be like a travesty. Let me put on all the weapon generators again. This is literally just for testing, but it's perfect right now, so we can see the maces come in. Okay, there's a sword. Wow, this sword has some reach. Ooh, it definitely glitched out. I swear it did. Let's see if this will come into play. Is this in our hands? Handle is in our hands. Whoa, thank you. Thank you. I hate it. You have to either be in the editor, or you have to be in like, or just not, I guess. Grab that. Grab that. That is all the weapons in our hand. Grab that. This is looking good. The mace drops. Let me click off for a second so we can... The mace comes back. Very nice. And then I just want to see it come up gray when it's in our inventory. And then I'll be feeling great. So this should be our inventory, or our in our hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab me that. It added to here, which isn't good. Wait a minute. it would be where it's storing it, so. Inventory, HUD, name, transform parent, bow, I'm not so sure. Green, B, no, but it should be fine for that. There's one way that I can check this out, basically, and the only way I can really check it out well is I grab it, and then M1, okay. I'm sorry, Unity. I'm sorry. Stop being mad. Okay. See, it adds there. But when I click on it, it still knows which one it is. But why is it adding there? It's not like adding to items. It adds to... Why does it add to hands? Unless, does it add to items but it overwrites? There's so many intricacies to this. Okay, that should be enough weapons. It's funny, it's reading it, and it's not like it's going overboard in hands. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't swap to it, and you can drop that one. Let's drop this, and then pick this up. And it's, wow. I mean, alright. So it does work. It does work. It, for some reason, alts to this part of the inventory. It could be that I'm like missing one minute detail. Like maybe it's when you pick something up, or I don't know, but it does work, and that's really all that I could ask for. It set child. That's why, right there, 0. And now everything will work. So, like I said, one minute detail. Programming is a lot of just testing for me. Even if I've done it for like 4 years now. 1, 2, 3. Grab that, and it appears right there. There's your mace. So we can drop that bow, we can drop that mace, pick that mace back up, and there's your mace. And I believe the mace is green, so right there. Very nice. And it deals damage. It deals randomized damage, as well as like a randomized amount of reach, so it's really pushing us when we attack that way. And then I just want to cement that we're dealing randomized damage when we set the weapon ability, which just damage is like that, and that's a random range from 10 to 60. We can say like 70 to 5. Maybe maces, like the blunt damage may make it deal a bit less, but yeah, so thank you for stopping by. I mean, it was quite a success getting another weapon. Now there's 3 different weapons you can get in the game, and they all work with the inventory and everything, as well as enemies now drop weapons. There's a chance for it. So, yeah, but this was pretty good. Let me just turn this off. I just want to try one game legit, and then I will call it. I will, of course, be streaming Warframe later today, so be prepared for that. Have a bit of grinding to do, as per usual. I actually very hyped. Nice. Nice. And we're not running any errors. This is a smooth FPS right now. Of what, like 100? Yeah, around. That's what I like to see. Enemies spawning. I think that was yet another enemy that came out of that chest. Oh, that enemy dropped a weapon. There you go. Alright. Got them. I am going to die. I need to regenerate. Oh boy. Is there any like health pickups or anything? I may next stream add in the skill set system. I don't want to do like skill trees. I have this unique idea that I plan on using. Ooh. Because I've built skill trees before and they're just so boring. Like you click on it and you're just like, oh well, there's my skills, and it's kind of still confining. Like you think, like you have build potential, but it's not. There was another enemy. What is this luck? Oh, and the world generated weirdly. Thank you, world. But yeah, I have this interesting idea, and I'll quick paint it for you, so you can get an idea quickly. So let's say you get some loot. I don't know. This will be your loot, and I'll put a yellow star in it. So let's say we get some loot, and it's a rune or something. Well, then after you level up a bunch, or level up like a certain amount or something, like let's say you level up level 5, then you can activate this rune. And what's going to end up happening is like every rune will have their own ability. So like this rune, like more damage with swords, or like sword combos and stuff. It's actually somewhat the idea is somewhat from almost like Warframe with mods, but it's just going to be like runes basically, and they're going to act as skills and like have their own unique benefits. So you get enough runes to set up like a good sword build, like, and you can go like end game and stuff, and you can have like regeneration and things like that. And that's kind of the idea, because I hate the classic skill tree. I've done it enough to not want to do it anymore. I've coded it several times, and every time it's just been a pain, because every single one you have to make a button, and then you got to do all this stuff. The only reason I would make a skill tree is if like every skill was randomized every time. So let's say like this is the first time, but then randomized, it's like then you have this choice, and then it randomizes again, it has like this choice. and it's a lot of it would be a lot of work to set this up, a lot of buttons and UI stuff. And I want to maintain to programming, and I think this runes idea is unique and only done in games like Warframe, like this whole that functionality. So I think that'll be interesting, especially for a dungeon crawler, movement shooter style of game. So, but as I was saying, anyways, thank you for watching. Like I said, I will be doing Warframe later, regular times, and yeah, thank you for the follow before. If you like this content, please don't hesitate to ask questions or anything. I'm very open to it, and I'm still learning a bunch. And just thank you for the support. So I'll be closing off the stream right now. So I will see you if you catch me at Warframe. Peace.